through on that. So it's 5:31. I'm going to call the meeting to order. The first order of business is the warrant. I sent that out to everyone. It's one invoice from Commodore. It's their invoice number 2 for the library project. It's in the amount of $172,607.98. Is there any discussion on that? Hearing none, I would ask for a motion to approve, and we're going to have to do this in roll call, so you have to announce your name.
Brian Pasquale, I'll make a motion to approve.
Mike Scaduto, second.
All in favor?
Brian Pasquale, yes.
Mike Scaduto, yes.
Steve Moore, yes.
Bob Romley, yes.
Motion carries. Thank you very much. Next order of business is to approve the minutes of August 12th as modified. Again, a roll call vote. Do I have a motion to approve?
Brian Pasquale, I'll make a motion to approve.
Mike Scaduto, second.
All in favor?
Brian Pasquale, yes.
Mike Scaduto, yes.
Bob Romley, yes.
Steve Moore, yes. Thank you. Police station. Brian, do you want to give us an update and your recommendation for contractor services?
Yes, so we received our bids last Wednesday. We did our reference checks between CBI and myself. For the base bid work, we are recommending the waterproofing company and their filed sub bids that they're carrying on that. I don't have the actual number in front of me, but I believe that their bid was for $292,000 roughly, which is under our original proposed budget that we put together based upon what was approved at town meeting. We did not recommend taking any of the alternates, and I was told that we should be putting a rough order of magnitude later for a later time for the remaining scope of work.
Right, and I saw your email to CBI, and it would be appreciated if we could get that budget number by Friday, close of business, so we can get it into the town administration, so they can put that on their list for a special town meeting.
Would a rough spreadsheet suffice?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Brian, my only question's about the alternates. I guess if it sounds like we're not executing any of the alternates now, but are interested in doing it later. And if that's the case, do the numbers all change? Or, was that priced under doing the alternates all in kind of one mobilization?
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. So that will reflect in our rough order of magnitude to be going out at a later date. We will have to add in the mobilization and overhead that's going to come with that added scope.
Along with the additional construction administration and Vertex effort associated with it.
Correct. Which we did have in our proposal for this work at this point. And I know that CBI had given a rough breakout about what their CA would be for the remaining scope as well.
Right. Any other discussion on the recommendation to award?
I guess just as a follow-up to that, our hands are kind of tied on that, right? We don't have the money to do it this year. It just seems unfortunate that we don't have the money to do it this year, so we're going to end up paying more for it in the long run.
Right.
But it sounds like that's the only option.
That's our only option at this point.
Steve, if that goes on to town meeting, the special town meeting, would we have the money available to finish this year, or?
Special town meeting, yeah. If special town meeting approves it, we have the money available immediately.
So there's a possibility that we can just
Piggyback
complete
it.
this whole job.
The only concern is if it does drag on a little longer, you're getting into the concern of winter conditions at that point.
Correct.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah. Any other comments or questions? Do we have a motion to approve the recommendation to approve?
I make a motion.
I'll make a motion. Oh,
Go
sorry,
ahead.
go ahead, Bob. I'll make a motion to approve it, base bid without the alternates. Brian Pasquale.
I
Mike
second that
Scudetto,
motion.
right.
We're gonna have to raise our hands here.
Okay.
There is a feature to do that.
I know there is, yeah.
Yeah,
But,
there is.
Anyway, all in favor, roll call vote?
Brian Pasquale, yes.
Mike Scudetto, yes.
Bob Romley, yes.
Steve Moore, yes. Motion carries.
Great. So I'll be working with Arno tomorrow on getting the contract drafted, contacting the lowest bidder, and getting a rough schedule for a kickoff meeting as soon as possible.
Outstanding. Great. Joe Layden was going to join us about town hall modifications, but apparently we have $150,000 COVID-19 associated grant awarded to the town. And I spoke, and I think Brian spoke. Actually, Brian, I think you spoke to Joe more recently than I did.
I spoke to him late morning today. We went over a couple rough sketches that the Bruins just scored. So my phone went off. Yeah, good. So he went over a few rough sketches that Ed Mullen had put together in regards to the land use area on the 3rd floor of Town Hall.
Yep.
And what they're proposing is creating almost a service counter from the hallway where patrons can get their business done by still creating almost that buffer between the employees of Town Hall.
With the plexiglass and all that kind of stuff.
Correct. Yep. So he had talked about some of his previous jobs. I believe it was in Grafton, and some of the roll-up doors that they had. And if they were in the same position now, they probably would have gone with the glass, just based upon the position we're in now. So, what I'm taking is the information I took today. I'm going to go to my boss, John, and go over what our best options are for putting out a proposal for, a small design build where we can bring in one stop shop contractor rather than trying to bring in an architect for something as small as this and overpaying.
Exactly. Yep.
And then I know that time is of the essence, that money needs to be invoiced.
Obligated or invoiced. Yeah.
He told me it needs to be invoiced by the end of the year. So
Yep, that's right.
Obviously we'd rather them invoice it before doing it. So we want to make sure that that's getting done as soon as possible. So I told Joe that I would get back with him on Monday after our library call, and we would, start formulating a game plan of getting out that proposal.
Great. Okay. So this is a special meeting just to basically talk about police station and town hall. Any member input?
No.
I'm good.
Okay. No member input from anyone. Before we adjourn, I want to talk about the next meeting, which is scheduled for next week. I don't actually see a need to meet again next week, and if there's a consensus, we could push that off to the next scheduled meeting, which would be the second week in September. So do I have any discussion on that?
Not unless you got invoices that have to be approved. I don't see a problem with it.
My only question, sorry to interrupt, is what day do you need invoices by in order to be on the warrant usually?
Well, usually it's the Friday before the PMBC meeting.
Okay.
However, Michelle has been very good about, putting them on if I send them over to her on Monday. So
Okay.
that's kind of that's the way we roll here.
Understood.
So I did send in the invoice for I guess it was the concrete testing from PSI.
Yes, so that was the testing that we had done with our testing agent PSI with their W9. The other one was for OTO, which was some of the soil sampling that needed to be done.
Right. So I just asked her to put both of those on the next warrant for whatever date the next meeting is.
And that's no problem. Those are both real fresh invoices, so
Yep.
contractually, you can wait a while. So that there's no issue with pushing off your PMBC meeting from a project perspective.
Okay. So do I have any other discussion on that? Anyone have any opinion? Do you want to meet next week or do you want to push it off to the second week?
I'd prefer, where we just met 2 weeks in a row, I'd prefer to push it off if we can, if there's no need.
Second that.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Good. Okay. So the next meeting will be the second week in September, whatever date that is, second Wednesday. And any other comments?
The 9th, Steve.
The 9th. Thank you very much. Any other discussion?
Nope.
Well, I appreciate you all, taking your time out of your busy day and or golf outing, as it may be, to participate in this meeting. And we'll see you the second week in September.
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Need a motion to adjourn?
Oh, yeah. I keep forgetting. You know what? I host so many meetings during the day. I just adjourn meetings. I don't. So anyway,
I make
My
a
bad.
motion to adjourn.
I'll second that motion. Brian Pasquale.
all in favor?
Bob Romley, yes.
Brian Pasquale, yes.
Mike Skidoo, yes.
Steve Moore, yes. Thanks very much. Have a good evening.
Same to you.